What is vibing? This is Vish, and today I will be sharing the 100 days completion experience of SHAMBHAVI Mahamudra. I'm a meditation coach and I've guided hundreds of people on their meditation journeys. If you have any questions about it or want a one-on-one session with me, either comment down below or message me on Instagram at Vish Vibes. Sadhguru is a yogi, mystic, and visionary who is truly enlightening the world. I'm very grateful for the presence that he has, as well as the amazing work that he is doing on this planet, whether it's spiritual, social, human, environmental. The list is endless, and I'm very grateful for him. I'm also very grateful for you watching this right now. And if you've had experiences with Shambhavi or are currently doing it, please comment down below. We'd love to know how many people are doing it that watch these videos. Now, I'll first start by briefly talking about the initiation experience that I had. I have discussed more in detail in other videos. And so pretty much January 24th was when I got initiated by Sadhguru himself, personally. And in order to get initiated, we'll have to backtrack a bit more, which is the online program of inner engineering that I completed. Inner engineering is roughly 7 to 8 sessions of essentially, in a way, intellectual, easing into the inner engineering experience, which eventually gets completed with the initiation by Sadhguru himself at the very spiritual level. So as I've learned from Sadhguru, there's a body, there's a mind, there's emotions, and then there's the energies. A lot of these spiritual processes, at least from what I've understood with the level of awareness that I have, happen at the level of energy. However, before we jump into that, usually the mind will have all these qualms and concerns and questions. And so this online program will kind of help you transcend from the body to the mind to the emotions to eventually being ready for the energy level. Again, I'm just expressing this with the level of awareness that I have. So the actual online program was definitely very interesting, and I highly encourage you all to check it out. We'll have all the information down below about that program. And it is online, so I would recommend you dedicate proper time to doing it. You can technically do it at your own pace. However, if you can do it as close together, you will have the most impact and benefit. So what I recommend personally is to at least do 1 session a day. So with that method, in 1 week, you can actually finish the whole thing. And then eventually, hopefully time it around where you can get initiated maybe a couple of weeks in to the actual SHAMBHAVI Mahamudra process by Sadhguru himself. And so just look at the dates online, which again will be linked down below, as to when the completion happens. And then based off of that, you can determine when you do the inner engineering online program. But regardless of when the actual completion is, I'd highly encourage you to do the online program as soon as possible. Now, initiation was a beautiful process and day. There was a lot of mechanical processes involved, and for the respect for the actual program and process itself, I can't discuss the details. However, what I'd like to say is it was a beautiful thing, and it is very, very life-changing. Doing that process consistently for over 100 days straight is something I'm very consciously proud of for this body and this mind to stick with. It is something that definitely means a lot, and I've learned that this process is a much deeper dimension of life. And so with that realization itself, I've realized that this will be something I must dedicate complete attention towards, and there will be no excuse to not do it. And so with that being said, I would highly encourage you all to try it out too and dedicate your time as well as energy consciously towards the practice. Now, were these 100 days easy, and was it something that came easy? Full transparently? No. It required a lot of hard work, a lot of prioritization. It required a lot of discipline, because a couple of the tips and recommendations with the process itself includes taking a nice cool shower beforehand. And if you do some yogas before as well, definitely optimal for it. And because I wanted to devote complete attention towards the practice, I usually did all those things together. So really, just to keep it simple, I gave this my all for these past 100 days, and I plan to continue to do so. Now, a question that might arise as you do this process, which is really just from the mind, is it really working? Is the benefits really being reaped? What I've heard from a lot of people, including a lot of the Ishangas as well, is that each experience is very individualistic and unique, possibly. Maybe some are similar, but the whole point is to never compare your experience with anyone else. To never have any expectations either. Any type of comparison or expectation really stemming from the mind. And the moment the mind gets involved in the spiritual process, which is at the energy level, which is beyond it, you're essentially taking away attention from that. And so that is so much more important to focus on, rather than the questions of, is it working? At the same time, I would recommend you do attend the weekly satsangs, which will help provide for tips and recommendations with how you could improve the actual process itself, and if you're doing certain things wrong, obviously you don't want to do the practice as completely and consciously as possible with the right techniques being put into place. And the reason why this is super important is because doing a certain mudra, for instance, or a certain posture, a certain breath, slightly out of alignment could actually cause more harm than benefits. So it is very important that you're completely conscious about the practice and that you give it your full attention and that you don't do anything wrongly. Now, to keep the benefits very simple at the high level, and I'm going to preface this by just saying that these shouldn't be things that you expect. I'm just sharing it out of personal experience. And this is actually something that's been very similar to other meditations that people have had. So first off, I want to emphasize this one more time, really just realizing that you should not expect this benefit as well. You could experience something similar, or you might experience something different, or maybe both. So the whole point is just sharing this out of encouragement for why you should do it, and you could definitely get similar, if not even better benefits. So with that being said, the first benefit is just really having a clear mind. Having a clear mind is something that we tend to overlook, but we have to realize, and science actually proves this too, 80 to 90% of the thoughts that we have are really just waste. They're non-productive. They don't contribute anything to you. It's literal manpower or brain power being used for nothing. And so when you learn to have a clear mind and you're able to consciously produce thoughts without, as Sadhguru calls it, mental diarrhea happening in your system, you're able to save that energy for actually productive things. Whether it's exercising, whether it's doing your homework without any distraction, whether it's passing the job interview. So whatever it might be, having a clear mind is very beneficial. And this practice definitely helps with that. The second is that flexibility has definitely improved. There are certain asanas involved with the practice which you should not be looking up because, like I said earlier, this is a very sacred process that you must get initiated into. And so you trying this on your own will cause actually a lot more harm. So the point of this again is if you really want to reap these flexibility benefits, please take the program of Inner Engineering online from Isha Foundation and then get the completion with Sadhguru himself. And so with that being said, flexibility tremendously goes up. You see in the past, and even for most people I could probably speak of, especially in the Western countries and maybe even India now with how Western is getting, exercise or even just yogasanas or stretching are really not parts of the daily life. And it is such a significant, very important, powerful thing that is vital for the daily life. Not being flexible, not being stress-free in the body, which again really just gets solved by stretching, yoga, exercise, is fundamental. It's paramount to the body's existence. It's like the most basic shower that you take every day, the most basic brushing your teeth that you do every day. The same hygiene is required for the body as well. Another really beneficial point to Shambhavi Mahamudra is the flexibility that improves tremendously. The next major benefit that I observed was the ability to know that when you dedicate yourself to a practice like this, you can do anything in life. Like I just mentioned, I've been doing this practice every single day for over 100 days. That is something I'm very grateful for. And that itself has proved to me that if I can do that for 100 days, I can do so many other things for more than 100 days too. And really just learning the discipline behind the practice itself will naturally carry on towards the discipline benefits, towards other areas of life. Whatever goals and ambitions that you have, when you're able to really dedicate this practice to your life on a daily basis, you'll easily be able to dedicate any other goal practice every single day as well. And so that is something I'm very, very grateful for. And another reason why you should do Shambhavi Mahamudra and get initiated by Sadhguru. The last major benefit I want to discuss with you all was how through this practice, you will surely be touching something that's beyond this body, beyond this mind. You see, most of our daily life is really just revolved around the thoughts that we have and the physical body pains that we have, which honestly today is very minimal because we don't do much. So really just all around the mind. It's so mind focused. The society is mind driven. When you learn to transcend that through such practices like Shambhavi Mahamudra, you're able to tap into a place or a state of real just transcendence, into a dimension where it is something you've never experienced before. Something beyond this body, beyond this mind, which is an experience that can only be experienced and can't really be talked about. So with that being said, I appreciate you sincerely listening to all of these benefits to Shambhavi Mahamudra, as well as listening to the 100 days of completion that I've had with it, which I'm very grateful for and very excited to share with you. With all that being said, thank you so much for watching. Make it a great day, take it joyfully, and stay conscious.